have a new pattern for you. Welcome back, everybody. In the name of stash busting, which is a term we yarn crafters use to describe using yarn that we have in our storage. My yarn needs to be reorganized. I decided to use this opportunity to do something that most of us don't like to do, in the sense of when something gets released and it's limited edition and it's never around anymore, you just tend to have it as part of a collection that you can view and remember the memory and appreciate the product for what it is. It's a time capsule of sorts. We just hold it into our stash for years and years and years and years and years. For context, there's a brand called Karen Cakes, a brand that you can find at Michael's craft store. And so many years ago, when they first released this, there were original colorways. There was a set that was released, and then from that set they started to fade out bit by bit until there's a completely new palette now. So this is why I'm also taking advantage of the process of all of this yarn shifting and moving. Yarn barf happened. Blah. And let's have fun with our stash, and let's sacrifice this yarn to the yarn gods and create one of my new patterns. I'm wearing it right now. What do you think? Very nice. Schnazzy. Keeps you nice and warm with the 20% wool that is in there. If I was sacrificing this limited edition yarn, I should give you guys a cool pattern that uses one ball of yarn. You got a nice little bit of texture going on in there for those who take a really good look at it, and then it's a fun adventure for those who are making it, because it's very mindless once you figure it out once. It's this rectangle and then you attach, boop, but you use the seam as part of the look. So gotta think smart sometimes. MoChicago.com, download the pattern. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. It's gonna be really cool. Let me know if you want me to do a virtual lecture workshop on this, and I will gladly do it. So yeah, that being said, let's do this. Essentially what I'm doing is testing out the pattern. So I wrote the notes when I made this one, which is the first one, and then I repeated it using my notes to make this one. Now that I did that, I'm just going to test out the pattern without editing. So I'm just going to follow the directions, and I'm going to do that with this this yarn barf. So I have to, I believe I can just pull from the outside. There we go. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Winding. Oh wait, yeah, you are. No, you're not. Pro tip right here. Sometimes you have to take the time and rewind your yarn. Benefit you in the long run. It's gonna squeak, so squeak alert. I'll put the directions somewhere here on the screen. That's gonna be explaining what I did here. I believe it's like basket weave stitch, 4 rows, then 4 rows of pebble stitch, 4 rows of 5 rows. Sorry, yeah, 5 rows. So 4 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows of back post stitch to get the 3D texture, and 2 rows alternating front post, back post, 2 rows of coffee bean, and then you end it with 4 rows of alternating front post, back post. Again, it's a rectangle, then you close it up with single stitch. I present to you your next favorite design. This is it. This is the sacrifice we are doing. We are using our vintage Karen Cakes, whether I keep it or sell it. TheMoChicago.com, and check out my online store. I list the garments that I make on these videos. I put them up on the website for someone to buy. May the energies of this give them good luck. This experience doing this is very mindless, and mind you, there is extra yarn. So there's extra yarn of this. But I just like it because you don't, whatever cake you purchase, like at the store, just go ahead and just start using it. You don't have to think about it. And it also gives you a good palette taste of the yarn. So if you are ever curious as to how something works up, I would recommend my own pattern to do it. But I think it lets the yarn play out in a nice way where it complements itself, you know? It just allows itself to play out, and you can really see how a yarn is going to play out. Have them on the table or something. It looks really cool. Well, I highly recommend my pattern if you do want to sell this like in a fair or whatnot. Craft people, fair people, I present to you. And for those who just love to buy one cake of something and you're just too scared to use it, this pattern will do you wonders, and it will always give you, I think, a positive yarn experience. So TheMoChicago.com, check it out. Buy my garments if you can, if you want, and get the pattern so you can make it yourself. Make sure you tag me on Instagram if you do make it. Like, this felt really liberating, and so I highly recommend you guys do this. Like, I feel good, I have a plan, I have a lot of other stash yarn that I need to go through and just burn it, so this is great. There might be some footage of plants, me playing with my plants in this video. It's been something that has helped me hone into myself and allow me to have a relationship with something that is living and breathing. It's a nice give and take relationship that I think we're having. Alright, actually, let me change on this one. So these plants are kind of hairy, so they like stick to each other sometimes. My Tradescantia Zabrina. So I'm gonna be honest, this one I kind of neglected for a bit, but I actually got these off of the floor. Like, they were on the floor and they almost looked dead, and so I was just like, alright, 50-50 chance that they live. You literally just stick them in the dirt and they will hook on and root on to something, hopefully. I kinda neglected this one. Some of them literally dried off. What I have to do is take them all out and then repot them so that way they're all facing like the same direction, because they're all going kind of everywhere. But also chop them up now and then re-stick them in another pot so that way it fills that pot. Okay, I actually got this at the thrift store. Like, it was $1.50, and so I got this, and it has a hole. And so I figured if I am going to redo this so that way it's nice and bushy, and these are vining types of plants, like they don't grow up, they grow down, this height is actually perfect for it. You can manhandle these plants pretty easily. You just chop, dig, and stick in them. I have some perlite, I have my potting mix soil. I'm gonna do, literally, I just like in the bag, I put some of this in the bag and then I mix it from there. I will moisten the dirt a little bit after I'm done putting it in there, because when dirt gets a little too dry, it's not, it's harder for the plants to like stick in there. I have this really long piece. Really long one, whoa. Chop that. Does this rainbow fit? Actually, let me put the rainbow in. No, this guy's watering the rainbow. All right, so let me turn this around. Check this out, guys. So this is now my new Tradescantia. It's nice and bushier. It's all there. And as it grows, I'll probably chop this off and then add it on there. Okay, so final update. This is the actual final planter. I decided to add some of my Mona Lavender in it. And then I also added some Tradescantia Nanooks on these sides as well. So it's gonna be growing from the side, all from the bottom, and then up here on top. I think it came out really cool. Alright, you guys, so we're gonna end it here. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.